Oh, didn't see you there. Today on LuZoCast, episode number 19, we're going to be talking about Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and everything in the Nerdiverse. Check it out. My f***ing guitar broke too.
Hi, and welcome to LuZoCast.
Hello.
Hi.
Sup?
This is LuZoCast number
19.
19.
Wow.
And
We're old.
Yeah. We're adults.
How does
now.
that? Okay.
We can vote
have
as
almost-
a podcast.
No.
It's
It's not
yeah,
that
you're
we
right.
can vote. It's LuZoCast, the
Yes.
entity.
Exactly.
We as a podcast can vote.
Oh,
No,
I see where you're
it's
going. with this now.
LuZoCast
Took
is
me a
the
while.
entity.
Anyways, welcome back.
Thank you.
How
Thank
was
you. We are
your
back.
How was your
We are
trip?
back.
Sweden was great.
Sweden.
We went to Sweden.
I did
Did
not know you
not-
went to Sweden.
Did
didn't
not go to
Sweden.
Sweden.
No. We went to England and Ireland.
Cool.
We went to
That's
England because the three of us are from there. So decided to check out some old stomping grounds. And then
Check out the
Ireland.
motherland.
Ireland, we went there specifically because there's this little place in the southwestmost corner called
Yes.
Luke Skywalker's New Temple, or the old, or the one of the original Jedi temples,
Old, current, or new.
or in Muggle language, as it is known, it is called Scaling
What?
Michael.
Muggle language? It's Skellig Michael is the
Skellig
island.
Michael
It's the
Island.
Skellig Islands.
Gotcha.
And,
But specifically Skellig Michael that was used to film the location of the original Jedi Temple.
Film?
So you're talking
This is-
specifically
this is
about
real.
the last scene from Force Awakens.
Yes.
And the opening scene for Episode 8, Untitled.
I've
Is
never
that
heard
confirmed?
of Star Wars.
Really? Have
You're
you seen your sweater?
Fired.
Oh, I just spilled some blood on my sweater.
So a patent for it to fall into.
lots of.
That's what happened.
So
Creative.
so that was the whole reason we wanted to go to, or that was one of the big reasons we wanted to go to the island. So we get there, and to go out to the island, it's about a hour,
I thought it was like 45 minutes.
45 minutes to an
It's
hour
a boat ride across open ocean.
But the problem was the wind. So Saturday couldn't go because of the wind. It was bad. Sunday the wind,
Same
and then
thing.
Monday.
And it was bad.
Then Monday we had to leave, and then Monday obviously
Was
That's
the
when
day
the-
that.
the weather cleared up.
Yeah.
That's about right.
So
So we got as close as we could and got pictures of the islands from
Solid.
yeah.
I think I see him. I see Luke.
I'm not lying. I'm pretty sure I saw Luke Skywalker on the island and the ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The Ian McGregor version,
No.
or the what's his name?
Alec
It's not train spotting.
Guinness. Alec Guinness.
Yeah, well,
Is
he's-
it Alec
he's-
Guinness?
I think
I think something like
that's
that.
the original.
Alec
actor.
something.
As Star Wars
Alec-
fans, we're
Alec
terrible.
It's actually
We
funny.
are
Three
I'm
out of
just going to
the
watch the three of you argue about it.
three out of four
Because it
people
is
here
Alec Guinness.
are wearing Star Wars things, and then you have Krishna with
Mine is actually the Star Wars. We got it in Port McGee, which is the city across, and it's got puffins because they have puffins there. Which I
They
got to be
do?
honest, I did not see a puffin the whole time I was there.
Oh.
No.
So be
Well,
like-
no,
However, I think
they're specific to that island.
Yeah,
That's why.
there are puffins, which are like little tiny
Bird
penguiny
things.
kind of
Penguin-y
birds.
things, yeah.
But they have puffins. yeah.
Interesting.
But anyway, that
And-
was our trip.
Welcome back.
Stormtroopers.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I know you bought a lot of goodies, and we're looking forward to eating
and
all of them.
Wait, I pulled a perfect pint in the same bar that
Mark Hamill.
Mark
pulled
Hamill
his
pulled a
bar.
pint in.
Ah.
That's where we stayed at the moorings, and I got. Wait, I put it over here.
Wait,
I got a certificate.
I feel like I'm.
Oh my!
Do you say pull a perfect pint?
Pull a
Yeah.
So
Or
when
I don't know what that
you
means.
pour a pint.
Oh,
you
pour.
pour.
pour
okay.
pour beer.
And I
I was
got.
confused.
What
and
did
I
you
got-
think?
I don't know.
Okay.
And I got a Guinness. I poured a perfect pint of Guinness. And I got a certificate. The Force Perfect Pint.
So you
Challenge.
poured a
That's
perfect
pretty
pint
sweet.
of Alec Guinness.
Yes, I poured a
Bada
perfect
boom.
pint of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Caboose.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Cool.
Speaking of gifts, actually, one thing I wanted to bring up before we start.
Yeah, this is
so
weird.
yesterday in the mail,
Arjuna has a stalker.
I received this mug right here, and it's actually a very, very nice. Let me switch over to the other angle here, so you guys don't exist. But right here, as you can see, I got this LuZo mug. It has our banner from YouTube and Facebook on it, and it says LuZo, and it says LuZo Productions 2016. I received this in the mail from a company in Colorado. No return address from who it was from, no card, note, or anything.
No ransom message.
So we're not exactly sure who this is from.
It's really cool and a little creepy just because we don't know who it's from.
Definitely cool.
Can I see it?
So thank you.
Obviously not any family because we didn't all get them.
That's correct.
So you have a stalker.
But either way, I would like to just point out, this is a cool thing, and obviously we're showing
Yes.
it. So
Very cool. Please own up to it. It's
well,
awesome.
Not only that, but yeah, if you are sending us stuff, and we're cool with stuff. We like stuff. Just let us know so we can give a shout out and a thank you.
It doesn't even have to be stuff with us on it.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. It doesn't. We don't have to be.
Star Wars
So
stuff,
I will
nerdy
say,
stuff, whatever.
Shout out to Darth Vader.
We like stuff.
That's who
and
I
we
want
like
to think sent
you.
it to me.
Oh, you think Darth Vader sent that? He's dead.
Hey,
Is he?
I know who sent this. Warner Brothers.
What? You haven't called them out every single episode.
They still haven't come on the show.
This is an
Thanks, Warner
interpretation of Warner Brothers. Think about it.
I would take it as a threat then. They're like,
I don't know.
this mug represents what we're gonna turn you into. A bunch of mugs.
What?
I don't know.
Well,
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
need
this
you
show
to-
has gotten off to a successful start.
It really has.
The best that we've
so
ever had.
great.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
We are talking, a lot about DC. Surprisingly, considering we start off with a lot of Star Wars talk. But we are starting up the new seasons of the DC television universe on the CW. None of you look really happy about
Yeah,
that.
it's really exciting.
Yeah.
I'm thankful.
I
Hashtag,
thought-
hashtag blessed.
So I thought maybe first we could kind of recap where we ended
Sure.
on the shows.
Sure.
So let's start with.
Can we start with Arrow?
Fine, let's start with Arrow.
And can I jump into it really quick? I'll make this very quick because we are obviously slated on time here.
Yes, who is Arrow?
Arrow was terrible. Basically, it was some weird, let's hide people in a bunker. There was some blondie-looking guy who couldn't die with a little jungle mask that he stole
Damien Dark.
from Indiana Jones. And it was just bad. It was just bad. I didn't like it. I guess, here's my interpretation of what happened.
Garbage.
Nicely.
Wait,
Be nice.
all right, so...
Be honest.
Oh, I can do it. In conclusion,
Yeah.
So in conclusion, you're super excited for this next
can't
season.
remember it. You can't remember it, right?
I'm actually... I don't know if it's because I'm really tired because of the jet lag, but I'm having a hard time trying to remember. So
how it ended.
Okay, that's why I actually pulled it up. So
Oh,
I can see
thank
what
goodness.
are you?
Go ahead.
What are you?
Take over. Tag out.
So wait, we ended up. It says he's you know what? This is really. Well, we ended up with Thea like bouncing, right?
Everyone bounced.
Diggle got all pissy and-
Diggle reinstated himself into the army or
that's
the Marines.
right.
Thea said she needs some time for herself.
They all need to go find themselves.
And it was just left. And obviously,
Felicity stayed.
Felicity. It was
though.
just Felicity and Oliver.
Felicity
right.
stayed, and which I still they aren't back together though, right?
Yeah, correct. They are
So
not
they're
back
just
together.
in this weird coexistence of non-relationshipy, the way they were before everybody else came in the first place.
You know,
kind
it's
of
the
thing.
CW doing the CW type of thing and keeping the romantic drama at an all-time high of like, will they, won't they?
Yeah, they need to
Gotta
just
have
go
that
ahead.
stuff.
And
Gotta
they
have
need to
that
go
tension.
ahead
And
and
so,
be done
like,
with that.
so obviously-
either
so-
one way or the other.
Right. So Diggle's dealing with killing his brother. Thea's dealing with being
Oh, that's right. I
Well,
totally
yeah, because his
forgot
brother
about that.
completely
backstabbed him multiple times.
Yeah,
Right.
like had him fooled the whole time too.
Thea's dealing with kind of being brainwashed and controlled and manipulated by Malcolm further. She's still trying to find herself because of
a lot of
that.
family issues.
Felicity's dealing with one of the nukes going off and killing a bunch of people. So
Because she wasn't
She wasn't
fast
able
enough
to
she
stop
wasn't
all
fast
of it.
enough to save
Right.
that
with
one.
her father. That's right. Her father came back to
Yes,
try and
the
help.
hacker.
she
He was a
redirected,
hacker.
right? She redirected it, but it still went off.
hit one.
It hit us. It is.
and-
She kept it from hitting a major city or
Right.
major, but she still had.
It's still like a
yeah.
bunch of people dead. And then Oliver's obviously dealing with one of the team in the Black Canary dying. So they're
Well,
all.
and
Yeah.
his first love.
And then also
And-
he broke his rule and he killed Damien Dark. and all that. So they're all in bad places, pretty much.
Yeah.
Is this
But
the
he
show
is the
where
mayor. He is the mayor.
is this the show where Deathstroke is gonna come back or something?
One could hope, because that was the best part of that show.
Well, so for the 100th episode,
They're talking
Stephen
about
Amell
it, yeah.
tweeted out a picture of him sitting on a bench with
Which
a guy
was
in
such
the
a great
Deathstroke
picture.
costume.
Because the guy's just sitting there staring out, and he's like turns. I don't know. It's good. It's good. But
hopefully
so
he's
that would
coming
be
back.
great. But there also is speculation that it won't be.
Yeah, just like it was in the Legends of Tomorrow episode where they went into the future. Yeah, I don't
That
know.
was a totally different Deathstroke,
Right.
though. That was
was
his
his
son.
son.
His son.
But
yeah.
the speculation is that it's not going to be the same actor,
Yeah,
or that they will
'cause he
keep
doesn't
him
wanna-
in as Deathstroke.
Well, he's busy with a little show on the MTV network called the Shannara Chronicles.
Whoa, wait.
Wait, is
the
that still
Shards of
on?
Shannara?
Yeah.
The Shannara Chronicles. Yeah, Terry Brooks.
Terry. Oh,
Wait,
There's
you
a
know
whole
about
series.
that
Because
show?
he reads
books.
books like I do.
yeah,
Oh,
the
it's
books.
weird.
Yeah. I
Big
didn't know.
old
I didn't know
nerdy
they were
fantasy
making a
books.
show.
Well, yeah,
It's been on.
the,
Yeah.
act-
I-
the actor that plays Deathstroke is
Yeah.
in it.
We happened to catch it on Ireland television.
Oh,
They have
I love
MTV.
it. All right,
No,
real-
they were shown on something else.
I'm on MTV.
So anyway, that was Arrow.
Yeah, that's Arrow. So
Let's move on to the other better shows.
better, really?
Wait, hold on. Was there any? There was something else. Maybe not. Oh, yeah. They released a promo, like a longer promo for Arrow for season 5, which whatever. I mean,
The action looked cool.
the action's always pretty decent.
pretty
like
good
they
for a
pretty well,
network
they
show.
choreograph it pretty well, especially on. But the thing is, I mean, I think it's a little ridiculous. Oh, now Laurel's dead, and I'm gonna go back to killing, because that's something they bring up in that trailer. Spoilers, sorry. If you haven't seen the trailer, whatever.
Right.
But they touch on the fact that he's thinking about killing again, and that wouldn't be what Laurel wants. It doesn't make sense that.
Right. So I think the problem with CW and the Arrowverse right now, specifically Arrow, is they went so far away from what they used to be when they first started, and the backlash they heard the most was, this show used to be awesome in the first couple seasons and dark and gritty, and now they're just doing, like all these productions do, the complete 180. So like, he's gonna go back to being killing, and if you hear every single press clip, they're like, we're going back to season one, grounded. They're even, with the Dark Archer from the season 1 thing, my prediction of it being Tommy and all that type of stuff, really going back to season 1. So I just think it's all like they're really just like shoving it in your face, like this is season 1 again.
Well, that's
Because
fine. That's fine.
It's lost its popularity.
Right, and that's probably why I'm not going to pay much attention to Arrow this season.
I'll watch it.
I will.
You'll watch it.
I will watch it, but it will be one of those shows where it's background, it's full background noise, and I'm not gonna pay 2 cents.
I mean, at this point, I've put so
Just
much
'cause.
into it.
There was
I've
another.
invested time.
There was another show that I
will
invested a
continue
lot of
watching
time,
it.
which I no longer watch. It's
Which
called
one?
The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, that one I didn't even
I
go
just
back
put
to.
that up on the shelf, and I
super
haven't,
behind
I
on
haven't
that,
bothered
too.
We
putting
didn't
that
finish
back up.
the
So.
Yeah.
second half of the last. Was it last season or
Yeah,
the
the last
season?
season. It's on Netflix.
We didn't even
I
watch
I heard
the
the
second
ending was
season.
crazy.
No, it's annoying.
It's a cliffhanger.
It's a stupid cliffhanger.
It's always a cliffhanger, and I don't even care what it is. I have not looked even. I care so little about it that I haven't even looked to see anything that happened, and it's not because I don't want to spoil it. It's because I don't give a crap.
You just don't.
I mean, I think for Arrow, where it's at right now, they're coming to an end with the flashbacks. This is the last season that they'll be doing the flashbacks
Thank
from the island.
goodness.
And this was pitched as a 5-year show. It wouldn't surprise me if this is the last season of Arrow. The ratings have declined. They're getting especially on the CW, they're getting so many more. They're building this universe up of so many more comic shows. With Supergirl now being added to the roster, there are rumors they want to keep doing more. So it would make sense to retire like Arrow, the actual Arrow show, and then have Stephen Amell pop into these different shows throughout the season and some of the supporting characters. But I feel like the show itself has gone so far off course. You don't really need a show with just him right now.
No, because it's
No.
terrible.
I mean,
Terrible
it'll be
show.
interesting a little bit. Hopefully, if they do it right,
Sure.
to see him put together a new team this season. Depending on, you were saying you thought they might be doing Artemis.
Wait, are we moving to predictions, or are we going to do recaps on the other shows?
Oh, sorry. We'll go back to. Pardon
my
me.
fault.
Pardon me.
False start.
All right, so Flash next.
Great show. Awesome production value. Story makes little sense because of the whole
Robbie does
time
not like
travel,
the Flash.
weenie wobbly dimensions and everything.
Wibbly
No, I
wobbly
do like the
timing.
Flash. The Flash
Why
is
does it makes sense.
the Flash is my second favorite CW show.
What's number one?
Legends.
Legends of Tomorrow, which we'll discuss.
I heard that's going to be.
But so the big
So
thing
wait,
in the
so
Flash
Flash.
was, yes, the Flash ends with obviously him finally taking out Mr. Zoom. So he is able to take him out by. Yeah. I can't remember the exact
Hold on,
reason
hold
as
on,
to
I'm
what he did
looking,
to
I'm
take him
looking.
out. But he's able to take him out, and then it's revealed that the Man in the Iron Mask is actually Jay Garrick
From Earth 3.
from Earth 3,
He was
who
also the
happens
Flash.
to
Wait,
look
there's
like
3 Earths?
So it's the multiverse.
No, no,
multiverse.
yeah.
So I knew there was Earth 1 and Earth 2. I didn't know
so
there's a third one.
so
There's
Jay Garrick
multiple.
so Jay Garrick
We just don't see
ends
it.
up or the Jay Garrick from Earth 3 ends up looking like the Flash's actual father from
In
Earth
Earth
1. He's a speedster
Who was
somehow.
killed by Zoom.
Just in the episode before the
Yeah,
finale.
so it was, gut wrenching.
But the way he does it is he creates one of those time
Right, he takes
remnants of himself,
Right.
and then with 2 of him, he's able to defeat Zoom, and then have the time wraith things kind of take him away. And he
That's right, but
becomes
they come and they make him look like the Black Flash.
the Black Flash, right,
Yeah.
with the red Flash
Yep.
symbol and the kind of skull-looking face.
Yeah. And basically, he's a harbinger of
Death.
speedster death.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, this season went big though into the whole Speed Force.
Yeah, it was a
And
big
Speed
Speed
Force and
Force.
Multiverse was
Multiverse
a
and
big
all
thing
that.
about last season.
And honestly, I think that's why I preferred this season and this show over Arrow's, because it's going more fake science and
Well, it almost reminds
mythology.
me of it also almost reminds me of season 2 of Arrow, right? Where season 1 was the intro type of stuff. You get to know the characters. Season 2, you go with the big stuff. With Arrow, they went with Deathstroke and all that, and with season 2 of the Flash, they went with Speed Force and stuff. And then they tried to continue that in Arrow with like the League of Shadows and Ra's al Ghul and all that type of stuff, and it didn't work out. And then they continued the downward spiral with Damien Dark. You just hope that with Flash and how it ends with what we all assume to be the Flashpoint arc, it won't just
no
downward
speculation.
trend. Reckless speculation.
No.
That's
Robbie
right.
will yell at you.
That's right. So the season ends. The very last part of that Flash season is him running really fast, going back in time, and actually saving his mother. Which then, in turn,
No speculation.
does something.
So,
Yeah, that's just how it ends.
so now the recap of Legends of Tomorrow.
They go, and there's a massive epic battle on the... It starts with an O,
Optimus Prime.
right? It starts with an O. The place
Place
outside
with
of
the Time Lord
time.
people.
So basically,
It's
so it's revealed. Is it revealed in the last episode that basically the Time Masters were not
Yes.
necessarily working with?
Well, it was like at least one of them really kind of was. I feel like, but
well,
they were all
I
of
wouldn't
them.
even say that they were working with him, but they
were
looked at
manipulated
him
by him.
as why can't I remember his name?
Savage.
Yes,
Savage Opress.
That's what I want to keep
Savage.
saying. It was Savage.
Even I know
Vandal
it's Randall.
Savage. Vandal Savage.
Vandal.
So the
Randall.
Time Masters
Randy Savage.
Randy
Oh,
Savage.
yeah.
basically said Vandal Savage has to be a fixed point. So they helped him, and then there was a big battle on that space station.
Yep.
They kind of wipe out all of the Time Masters essentially, and
Yep.
now they're Time Masters.
Well, and
Sounds like an episode
Snart.
of Doctor Who.
Snart dies.
Snart
Snart
dies.
died.
Snart's
Saving
saving the
everything.
team and destroying the. Is it
Destroying
the
the big-
obelisk? No.
I
the big
forget what it's
time
called,
machine
honestly.
thing.
And then they all reunite, and then the Hawk couple goes their separate way.
Yep. They leave the team. Like they said from the get go, is that the team will go
The
through
team will be
phases.
fluid.
Fluid, yeah.
that's-
And then I think the tease at the end of that show was what's it called? The Justice Society.
Justice Society,
Justice
a member of the
Society of
Justice
America,
Society appearing and
Right.
saying, "Oh, I've got you just before you left."
Right, and they're the kind of the new Time Masters, correct?
Yep.
So
So where were
They're
they
gonna-
when Barry did his thing?
Oh, they don't care about that.
Yeah, clearly.
Yep, that's a small blip.
That's
in
down. That show is shooting down the street. They're too far from us.
Right.
They're in a different part of Vancouver.
So that's
Well, and then also, I mean, just to be fair, now that Supergirl is like officially part of the CW, I just started watching the show, but I know they also end on a cliffhanger with a pod. Like
whoa. Are you spoiling the show for us?
Yeah, we're spoiling the show for everyone.
All right, go ahead.
We spoiled the shows for
Are
everyone.
we really going to... We keep saying we're going to watch it. We haven't
That's
done it
true,
yet.
that's
But
true.
I mean,
we had 2 10-hour plane rides.
Good point, actually.
We didn't
we
even
could've
try and
finished
take it with us and
well.
watch it in any way, shape, or form.
So I know that I believe it's another Kryptonian pod crashes onto Earth. So people aren't sure who that is. It could be another Kryptonian or whatever.
Or it could be what's his face?
Who?
Zod.
Could be, yeah.
They're not going to...
But
No.
the big thing about the big
Zod didn't
twist
play into
in
the Supergirl stuff.
early season 1 in Supergirl was one of the main characters ended up being Martian Manhunter, which people kind of praised.
Did they do
They
it
also have
well?
Red Tornado in there as well.
I don't know.
Really?
Oh yeah, something like that. It's a precursor or
Okay.
something related to it. So there are some cool elements. I mean, I'm just 4 episodes in, and it's kind of a slow
So you're
start.
watching it first, so you can just tell us.
Sure.
You can just
Thanks.
tell us how it is so we don't have to
if I
watch
could-
it.
Thanks for taking the
Or
sacrifice.
you can, you know what? You can tell us when it starts to get a little bit better,
Yeah,
and then we can watch from there.
I've heard it gets better around episodes like 8 to 10.
All right,
like
so
about
let
a
us
quarter
know.
third of the way.
It gets
through.
better once you've done the show.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Let us
That's
know,
good.
and we'll
That's
pick
good.
it up like halfway
That's
through
what I've
the
heard.
season.
So is
All
that
right.
it for recap?
That's
it for recap. I think is that. I mean, for the ones that we watch anyway.
Yep, Legends was great. Flash was interesting. Arrow was terrible.
Meh.
It's not bad.
All right, so now can we
be worse.
speculate?
Sure.
Robbie, maybe
Yes,
please.
we can speculate.
We may speculate.
Well, we should also throw out there that it has been sort of confirmed / revealed
lots of things have.
that the Flashpoint paradox is
Yeah.
going to be more specific to the Flash, and it's only going to be an episode
it looks
or
like
two.
it's going to be the first episode. So
First
they
two episodes,
actually
apparently,
is it
allegedly.
2 episodes?
So based on that,
Keep it long.
my thinking is the Flashpoint paradox is going to, if you will, open up gateways to the other dimensions and so forth, and the Speed Force stuff, and more the Black Flash and all of that fun stuff. So I think it's going to be another season that's very centric upon, not necessarily. I'm hoping and I'm thinking maybe they won't do one specific villain like, Zoom or Reverse Flash is the specific bad guy, but maybe the Speed Force is the bad guy. As instead of like one actual person, more maybe of a group, right? Because then you can throw in Zoom again from another universe. You can throw in the Black Flash. You can throw in another time remnant of Reverse Flash. You can throw in a lot of speedsters and say, as a whole, the Speed Force is the
I
bad
kind
guy.
of wish they'd get rid of like speedster bad guys.
They're the best.
I actually
Bad
read
guys.
somewhere, and I don't watch Flash, but I read that this new season's going to have up to 8 speedsters.
Yeah, so that's true because
Yeah.
I mean we already know we have Kid Flash.
Yep.
Yeah, we have Kid Flash, we have Barry, and then we have Reverse
Uh,
Flash
And then
that we know.
we also
in the first
it's also
episode.
been speculated in
There's
episodes.
there's a picture of Black Flash as well.
Okay.
Somebody in the Black Flash costume. So that's 4.
And then also allegedly
The old man.
episode 3 when Barry
Oh,
returns
yeah,
to
you've got
his Jay Garrick. Then you also allegedly episode 3 will see the return of Earth 2 Wells and Jesse, and Jesse has become a speedster on Earth 2, so that's 6.
That's right.
Right, because there is a female Flash as well.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
she
she's-
becomes a Flash.
So that's 6.
So here's my speculation.
There's Zoom. He's still around.
Flash
in
Civil
some-
War.
Flash.
It's like it'll be like Batman
Flash
versus
mob.
Superman,
It's-
but
no.
it'll be Flash versus Flash
Or
versus
Civil War,
Flash.
except Flash versus
But
himself.
It'll be like 4 versus 4.
Speedster Civil War.
Yeah, actually that'd be kind of cool. How would you shoot that? Or I get
Well, it's
well,
not
you guys
all
know.
the same.
Very fast.
Wait, actually, quick question. Do they
Fine.
are they all at different levels of speed?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that
Yes, to a
that would be
degree.
pretty cool to shoot. Like they could do like matrix effects and stuff,
And it kind of
right?
depends on how they got their Flash, how they got their speeds.
That's
speed.
cool.
So
Powers.
I think the big thing every CW superhero fan is wondering, especially with Supergirl coming, is will Flashpoint bring Supergirl into Earth 1?
So
No.
because they're saying that the Flashpoint, they're saying that Supergirl, the crossover is not going to happen. She's not coming into it until they do the big crossover. And if then they're going to finish Flashpoint. It honestly, based on the description, looks like they're going to finish Flashpoint in the first episode.
Yeah, first 2 episodes.
Like, unless it's 2 hour-long episodes that they put together, because the description they released of the episode, it gets to the end of the Flashpoint paradox kind of thing in one episode.
Do you guys think that's a mistake?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no.
We talked about this.
No, I think it makes sense.
Many
I think it
times.
makes sense. Think about it. Let's, besides being like fans and everything, let's take a step back and just think about it from a storytelling / a financial, like a what am I looking for?
Well, it's also
like a production. So basically, you've got a cast and a crew for Supergirl, right?
Mm-hmm.
That has all been bought and taken over and moved up to Vancouver, right?
Correct.
So that entire cast and crew have been moved up there, and then you've got this other universe, right, which is the Earth 1 universe with Legend of Tomorrow's Flash, Arrow, and
They were
so
calling
forth.
it like Earth 1 and then Earth CBS.
Right, exactly. So let's say
like
the
Earth
big
27.
question is how do you logically, from a story perspective, make those 2 physical worlds mesh into one world, right? In what way, from a storytelling point, does it make sense that an entire group of people in like the Supergirl universe would all end up in the CW DC universe, right? Like, because there are a bunch of sub characters, sub villains,
Sure.
sub whatever.
Sure.
You can't
That you started.
you
and
can't
just
pull all
dangle.
of those
Yeah.
and move them over. And I'm sure a lot of them have multi-season, multi-reappearance contracts. That just sounds like a logistical nightmare to try and figure out how do we all of a sudden take all these individual entities and then plug them into this new universe.
So you say that, but then you have actors like John Barrowman, who plays Malcolm Merlyn, Wentworth Miller, who plays Captain Cold, even Katie Cassidy, who plays Laurel, signing the mega contracts with the CW
Right.
to appear in all 4 shows for these seasons.
Wait, in Supergirl as well?
Including
because-
Supergirl.
Well, I mean, if they do like their crossover events, I mean, you just named specifically heroes and villains. I'm talking from a story perspective.
No, I understand that.
That will make sense. But like Supergirl in the show, doesn't she have like weird friends and stuff who aren't superheroes? So
She has friends. You have Superman.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's
and all
not
that
any
type of
different
stuff.
than creating. Okay, well the Arrow was around and then Flash started.
Right.
You just bring that to. Okay, they're in a different city, so
Right.
no, they haven't.
Right, but somebody
interacted.
like Superman, Supergirl, the scale is so much bigger.
It is, but
it wouldn't make sense to all of a
But
sudden.
you also feel like you can correct that from a story standpoint with the Flashpoint reset, right?
right, but
Well, yeah, but
I don't
that's
think they
not gonna
think
affect-
people would understand that.
especially if they're only watching one of the shows,
Right,
and
like-
True.
they can't
Some-
assume that people are
right,
watching all
right.
of them.
And I think
Right.
they have these great shows, all these shows, and they want them to tie in and everything. But they themselves, I don't think you can make the assumption that, person A, person B, like everybody watches all 4 shows.
Right.
You have to make the assumption that a person's watching one show,
Sure.
and that person that watches that one show still needs to be able to understand what's happening from
Sure.
A to end.
But so my counter argument is Supergirl's one of the best rated episodes was the episode they had Barry Allen's Flash come into play.
Right.
So an executive looks at that as, oh, that means more crossovers, better ratings. So let's make it all the same somehow.
But more crossovers also means more money.
Cost
crossovers
is
are
gonna be a
expensive.
lot more money.
So that's true, but these shows are all in the same lot. If you can,
They are,
if
but-
you can logistically make it work in terms of,
But monetarily speaking, you then have to pay actors for a crossover for different. That's outside of a contract for one show.
so the way CW has been doing it though is these crossovers are built into their contracts already when they sign. So that's why they're doing these deals with like
Yeah.
John Barrowman, Wentworth Miller. It's pretty unprecedented what they're doing for these contracts where they appear in all 4 series, right? So, creatively, like if I want to use that character, if I'm on Supergirl, I can easily do it because their contract calls for 20 episode appearances throughout all 4 shows.
yeah.
So they're like full time
still-
without
So
being full time.
okay, so let's
that's
say,
how it works.
Let's
like,
say
the
that they
logistics.
decide to do that, and then we're gonna get multi-dimensional crossovers.
Yeah, which it seems like
That's gonna get
what they want.
annoying.
Good.
That's gonna get very.
That's
If
why
you
Disney
open
that takes
do it.
that takes away from the whole like
grounded, sort of.
Not even just necessarily grounded, but well, yeah, actually it does. Yeah, it just makes the universe and
Gigantic.
makes it gigantic, makes it kind of wibbly wobbly. But
Well, there is Legends
it
of
also
Tomorrow.
takes away from the whole crossover sense, and that when
It makes
when,
it less of an event. If they happen all
exactly,
the
it's
time.
just like, oh look, they're now in Universe CW today. Now they're in CBS. I guess we're watching Sliders. The
That's kind of what it seems like.
WCBS version.
Is Gimli coming back?
Wait, so I'm confused. So are they going to be doing crossovers like every other episode?
No, it
There are a lot of crossovers planned. Like we've already heard about the giant 4-week crossover. There's
What's
supposed to be
that's
music
the Arrow 100th episode.
and it's going to be the Arrow 100th. There's already the
So to answer your question, yes, it's going to be every other
Apparently.
week.
there's the Flash Supergirl musical episode crossover
yeah.
they're doing, and that's just the first half of the season. Like we're not even talking about the second half yet.
Yeah, it would be cool if they did. Remember that show Hercules, and they did the crossovers every now and then with
With Xena?
Xena.
I think there was actually only
those were cool.
I think
I was
there-
like, oh, those were events.
but
Yeah.
But they happened
those
like
were
once every 5
were
years.
cool, but they're in the same time period.
Yeah.
They're on the same planet.
Oh, I know.
We're in multi-dimensions,
show did-
different
you-
time
no,
periods
that's-
to a degree.
You know what show did the
Not
It should be
crossover?
necessarily.
easier, but it's like science fiction.
Supergirl-
Legends of Tomorrow.
Again, well, that can go. That they're traveling time and
True.
everything.
But you
That's
know
true.
what show did crossovers really well? The Stargate franchise.
Yep. Yes, they did.
Yeah,
Like they
because it wasn't a huge event. It was just like, oh hey,
right.
look who just came through the Stargate. It's,
Yeah, exactly.
Next one is still Stargate Atlantis when Teal.
Teal, I was about to say, and Ronan.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was the
great
best.
episode.
Oh, that was so great.
That was a good one.
Little
That was good.
I'm really mad I
little
did not
testosterone
buy.
contest there.
They had it. I've told you they had it on Amazon like a day deal or whatever. $35 for all of Stargate Atlantis.
What?
For $35.
When was this?
Why didn't you get it?
don't know.
Seriously, was it
I
Blu-ray for
I regret
$35?
it. Huh?
Blu-ray for
Yeah,
35?
Blu-ray for
Wow.
every.
Why
all
did
of
you
it.
not get
had
it?
to. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, Black Friday's coming up in 8
Cyber
weeks.
Monday, too.
Cyber Monday. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I don't think we really have much more speculation about Legends of Tomorrow
No.
either, because really we know that's starting out. They're going to be taking on the
Justice
role of the
Society.
Time Masters and the Justice Society, which is apparently going to be the. It said I read something about the 1940s Justice Society.
Oh wow. That's
So
gonna
they're.
be
I don't know
bizarre.
if they're going to spend a lot of the season in the 1940s or going back and forth, or if they're going to travel. I don't know, but yeah. So that's just so that they don't use a lot of, the big characters that they can't use. All right, so I think that's kind of it for the DC TV universe.
Warner Brothers still waiting for your call.
Yes, please.
The
we
cup was
welcome,
nice.
We'd
but
welcome
I'd
anyone on the show.
I'd prefer
Hey,
a phone
move
call.
their front. It's kind of blocked by the cameras. There we go. There we go.
All right. now, shall we talk about Star Wars?
I've never heard of it.
All right, so we can talk, and Arjuna just won't participate. So, what do you want to talk about first?
Real quick. So Sarah does the Smuggler's Bounty, which
Oh yeah,
is
get the Smuggler's Bounty box, which is one of the subscription boxes from Funko, and I got my Smuggler's Bounty box while we were gone, so I just opened it.
Anyway,
yesterday.
so the one thing is, it came with Mr. Moffat Tarkin.
Grand Moff Tarkin,
Moffat Tarkin.
Show the camera.
Stephen Moffat Tarkin, Grand Moff Tarkin.
And Mr. Vader, specifically
Vader.
Bespin Vader.
Yeah, Bespin Darth Vader is what they
over there.
labeled him as.
Anyway, the big thing that they look awesome as per normal, right? They're really cool. They're fun.
We have a
cool.
lot of these.
The
so.
one thing though that kind of seemed weird to me, and maybe somebody could answer this question for us. Behind in their little box, they usually have like a little backdrop, right? Because it looks cooler. In this particular box set, it came with this backdrop. This, for you kids at home, is the symbol of the First Order.
It's a little bit anachronistic considering.
Neither of these
Yeah.
two were alive during the time of the First Order.
Oh.
So we're not really
Or are
sure
they?
why.
Unless
There is
Nope.
a rumor. There's a rumor, or not a rumor, theory saying that he's Snoke.
Regardless, oh no.
And there's also another
Regardless.
one saying that
He's Snoke.
his body lived,
But
and the dark
regardless,
side of Anakin
it's
lived.
Bespin
and is
Vader.
Snoke.
Bespin Vader was not First Order. Bespin Vader.
Was not.
Unless the
Nope.
First Order's been
Oh,
around longer than we
seriously.
think.
Yes, as the Empire, for which they had a completely different symbol.
It was called the Empire.
It's
It's
like
the Imperial
it's
cog.
like
It's not. Stop
it's like
speaking.
Hydra
Hydra is
Nope.
part of the Nazi, not
in
Nazis.
the MCU, where it was like, yeah, it was S.H.I.E.L.D, but it was actually Hydra the whole time.
Yeah,
I see what you're
no.
saying.
So what actually
But it's
happened?
not the nope.
what
It's still
actually
a different
happened?
symbol.
But what
It's
actually
still-
happened
it's
was
still,
the packaging for this. The people don't know the symbols, obviously, so we're like, oh, that one looks red, evil. Put it with those two.
Could be.
and the color looks great behind them.
Anyway, if
Just-
if
it's
you're
not-
watching this and
Matches
you
their
happen to
cheeks.
know why, what's the company?
Funko.
If you know why Funko put the
First
First Order
Order
symbol
Star
behind
Robbie
clearly
was
episode
highly
4,
offended.
episode 5 Star Wars characters, I would love to know. I'm not offended. I'm just curious. Is it a misprint or
I think it's just it's a
Placements.
mistake. It's just a
Well, and
mistake.
the
Then own up to
the
it.
Funko pop
own up to your mistake?
bobbleheads and that come in the Smuggler's
it.
Bounty box are exclusive to the Smuggler's Bounty box. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, you would think that would be even more specifically correct. Because it's not just, hey, we've got more pop vinyls. It's, hey, these are specifically for Smuggler's Bounty.
I was a pop vinyl once.
So in other Star Wars news,
Big
Star
head.
Wars Rebels Season 3 premiered.
Yes.
I will say
Awesome.
this. It is so far my favorite fall show.
I think I kind
Out
of
of everything I've seen, just because it's the only thing for fall I've seen so far.
True, you're not wrong.
But,
You're
but
not wrong.
personally, I thought it was a really cool,
I thought it was great.
very great opening episode for a season.
So, as you know, Christian and I recently watched the first two seasons in August.
Finally.
We binged it hardcore. And so each first episode is like almost a feature-length movie in terms of being 45 minutes to over an hour. And I think it just continues that tradition of it almost feels episodic like the movies. Like it's brought you into this new phase, and you really got to catch up with the characters after I don't think there's a disclosed amount of time. They don't disclose.
From what
No,
I've
they-
researched, it looks like, and like you said, there's nothing official,
Yeah,
but it
course.
looks like
a
it
few
is
months.
anywhere between 6 months to just under a year.
Yeah, it seems like it's a
So-
bit of
I
time.
feel
bit
like
of
they
time.
kind of alluded to a time. They didn't
Not in the
specifically
show.
say they didn't at all.
I'm picking
I thought
all of
they-
this up based on interviews and speculation and so forth. So nothing official. There's nothing really in the show that kind of points to it, unfortunately. But
Besides Ezra's growth spurt.
then lack of hair.
Well, he cut his hair, and that did make him look older. And yeah, I
He's
don't
a
know.
little, he's a little taller.
So who's
Wait,
like
what?
what was everyone's favorite part?
Oh, wow.
Oh, I have to pick favorite part. You know, I don't do that.
So my favorite part was
Almost never.
Keenan's interaction with the
Ben dude?
Bendu?
the Bendu. That was
Who's
really
voiced
cool.
by
Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Doctor
Four?
Who?
Number 4.
The fourth one.
How did what?
Arjuna
I told
me.
him.
I was gonna say.
There's no way I would know that by myself.
Christian's like, guys, I'm a secret old school Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, I
that's
only
why he
watched the
doesn't.
old
That's why
ones,
he doesn't
yeah.
like.
I
the
wear
new
That would
stuff.
be
scarves just
insane.
because of Doctor Who.
Yeah, that was my favorite because I loved them showing more of the balance of the Force, which is clearly the way Disney is going, I think, with all of their Star Wars media, movies, comics, shows, that they're going to be like light side, dark side. It's, they're
It's a
really
little gray.
not that different.
Yeah.
It's kind of like...
It's an
I'm not-
interpretation of this. It's an interpretation of the Force, which
Right, exactly. So
it
I
kind
really...
of always has been.
Yeah. Right.
But
right.
they're kind of.
They're
I get
really,
where
they're
you're
really
going. I get where
honing
you're
in
going,
on
yeah.
it.
Yeah, they're really,
Yeah.
and I love it.
And
I feel like they're
right.
building toward, some pretty cool ideological theories and ideas to be revealed. So yeah, that was
Pretty
my
heavy
favorite part.
Episode 8.
Episode 8.
Yeah.
Rogue
Yeah.
One.
I think
bet we'll
episode
see
eight's
a
gonna
lot
be
of that
awesome.
in Rogue One too, honestly, because in terms of just that good guys don't always appear good and bad guys don't always appear bad.
And
Yeah.
Dave
Filoni?
Pardon, Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni is a storyteller. He's amazing at showing that Star Wars, Clone Wars, there are tons of episodes
So much.
pulling out exactly what you just said.
There's
The
a lot
whole-
of
the whole blur
there's a
between
lot
good
of
and evil.
philosophy in this like quote unquote kid show.
Yeah.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is like that.
Well, I mean, the simple fact of they break out Hondo By the way,
Oh,
Hondo.
so
I love
great.
Hondo.
Hondo is probably like one of my
Hondo's
in the new
wonderful.
expanded universe. He's probably
he's
one of
one
my
of the top.
favorite characters.
Great.
But
Ezra!
they go to break him out, and then in order to defeat that was it ATTE? Anyway, one of the variations of the AT
Yeah.
vehicles. Ezra uses mind control,
That was cool.
forces the guy to shoot
That
his
was
own
dark.
men.
It was
Is that your
messed
favorite
up.
part? Dark.
It was my favorite part because it was so shocking.
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty
Because
messed
Very
up.
well done.
like you just said, this is a kids show.
Yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
though.
And it's
Let's
just
be real.
it's just wow.
Right.
But
I guess it is. My
but
niece
it
watches
makes sense because even Ezra says it himself. He learned that skill set from the Sith holocron, and that is a very Sith oriented.
Right.
And he himself, you also have to remember he's basically a kid, right? He's a kid
Yeah.
that wants to help and he wants to do things, and he's going to do it with any means. So he doesn't see his actions as necessarily dark or evil.
But
he sees them as a means to an end.
That's the same way that
Anakin.
I was going to say. That's the same way that the Emperor or that Sidious got Anakin.
Yeah.
He didn't see that as being a bad thing.
Yeah.
He lured him in by saying, "Don't you want to protect? Don't you want to protect Padme? Don't you want to,
I can give you the power to reverse death.
Exactly.
So-
She's
right.
going to die, but I can make it so that she doesn't.
Right. So one of my
You
so
can
one
do
of,
this.
so I kind of keys into like my favorite and one of my fears with the show is I love how the show is able to be really serious, but then in the same
breath.
same breath be funny as
Yeah.
well. And I think they do that better than Clone Wars did because Clone Wars really by the end, and I still love Clone Wars. It got really dark.
Yes.
And you
It
lost.
It really did.
And it got
was
really
so
dark,
good.
and you lost a lot of that kind of
Fun
Humor.
innocence.
fun and humor. So I
Well,
think they've kind of fixed that a
It
little
was
bit
moving
more.
to a really dark place with
Yeah,
the storyline.
it's-
Anyway,
it's
that
hard
was,
to do that
Like,
anyway.
I mean, seriously, because
Oh.
they knew where they were moving. Really knew.
Episode
I mean,
3.
and everybody knew where they were moving to with it.
I
It
have
wasn't
the-
like it was
I
going
have the
somewhere
high ground.
where
Which
it was
is
going to end.
Actually,
Yeah.
you bring up a really good point, and you as well. Where Star Wars Rebels is going, or no, Star Wars Clone Wars is ending with basically the fall of the Jedi. Very sad, very depressing. This show, Star Wars Rebels, is ending or getting to the point of A New Hope.
Yes.
The Rebels, they're finally getting up there. They're kicking buttocks. Can you say buttocks?
Yeah, why not?
All right, so they're kicking buttocks.
Gluteus
the
maximus.
Empire. There you go.
Booty.
They're ki- so,
Booty, booty,
so,
booty, booty,
To be
booty.
fair, I
Booty,
think
booty.
they will stay positive,
Sure.
but still dark.
So my fear then becomes, and Sarah
Arjuna, fear leads to the dark side.
Sarah alluded to this though. I just hope they don't do with they're not trying to do the same thing with like Ezra like as Anakin, like the fall of the. I hope it's something a little different.
No,
I hope
Ezra
it's not
versus
just-
Kanan at the end.
Yeah, I hope it's not like Kanan is Obi-Wan and Ezra is Anakin.
Sure. So I think they alluded with Ahsoka as to where Kanan and Ezra, and like you just said, with the whole good, the evil.
Sure.
They said it a while. Where did I hear this? But basically, I think we got the idea from episode 7, where we're in a new realm, a new world for Star Wars, right? We're going to start seeing at some point less Sith, less Jedi, less Sith, less Jedi.
Right, more just force wielders.
Force wielders and force stuff, and I think that's where we're heading with Kanan and with Ezra. I don't think we're going to see a necessary Jedi Master, Jedi Apprentice. I think potentially we could see Force
Wielders,
welders.
welders.
They weld the force
Because
together.
also they
the good and
they,
the good
they
and
had
the
the
light.
Bendu.
no
a
the
Force welder.
Inquisitor right during the whole
Yeah,
thing. So yeah.
that'd be nice.
That'd be sweet.
Well, I don't know. I was just I had a thought that it went away.
Yeah, it would be nice to see like the show get to a point where I mean, a lot of people think like, oh, do they have to kill all these characters off because they're not in A New Hope?
No.
I hope it gets
No.
to.
It's a big
Yeah,
universe.
right,
Let's be real.
And I hope we get to a point where they're still Force wielders, but they kind of abandoned the Jedi
The
order.
Jedi way, yeah.
Because
Right.
maybe they
Or the
see
Sith way,
just-
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, both
exactly.
ways, yeah.
Right.
Well,
they
I
just
mean,
kind of
I
leave it.
think it's in outside of the movies, the storyline movies, the Luke Skywalker movies,
Right.
the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
which is no longer it's still extended universe, but for the longest we weren't sure if that was going to be canon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You do see, and then of course in Rebels and even in Freemakers, which
Great
is
show, by
great.
the way. Lego Freemakers.
Lego Freemakers. No, it was seriously hilarious.
Seriously great stuff.
So funny. Also, Hondo's in that, just going to say. And
Hondo
Freemakers
is-
happens, in between
And between
4
episode
and
5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Episode 5
So,
and 6.
Wow, he makes it
Hondo-
that long.
Dude, he's a
That guy.
survivor.
Wait,
But
wait,
anyway,
they also show,
what I was saying was that but in these extended universe shows, these things that are not the main storyline or whatever, we do see a lot of force wielders, and like you see, people who aren't.
What was
Sith
the
or a
orange
Jedi
alien from
who
episode
we've
7?
got Ventress, who is was to
Maz
an
Kanata.
extent a
She was
Sith
a
Padawan,
dark
but
Jedi at least,
but
right?
yeah. She was a dark Jedi, but still,
Sith
yes and no.
Padawan
It was still, when it comes down
she-
to it, she was a
she's-
force wielder. She started off as a Jedi
Yeah,
Padawan.
exactly.
Right.
And her master was killed. She ended up turning to the dark side. She ended up doing a lot of stuff in a wonderful book that people need to read called Dark Disciple, that I'm not going to spoil. But
I didn't read it. She
I
just
love.
told me what
No, I
happened.
made him read the. I made him because
Read the part.
The
he
plot
kept making
synopsis.
comments, and I kept wanting to say something, and I was like, "You either need to read it or you need to read the synopsis."
Oh!
Anyway, but
that
yes,
brings
there are
me-
a lot of force wielders throughout the extended universe, and so I think we just now get to see more of these stories, which is kind of cool.
Speaking of Ventress, I'm pretty sure she's making a comeback. Pretty sure.
Yeah,
Just saying.
why wouldn't she?
Just saying.
If you don't die
I
on
need you
screen,
both
say.
to read the book.
Dark Disciple.
Yes.
Yes. Or at least read the ending.
No.
synopsis.
So,
I'm going to make
something-
you read the book because you will read the book.
I'll read the
When
book.
Robbie
you guys
wouldn't
were
read
on
it.
vacation, actually, I was hit on the head with a rock, and I therefore cannot read anymore.
I'll get
thought
you
you were
the
about to
synopsis, and
Tell
Robbie
something
can
real
read it to you.
serious. I was like, okay.
All right. So, anyway, do we have anything else? Oh, the next episode of Rebels has got Darth Maul. Woo!
I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
Love Darth Maul.
Oh man.
Didn't he own this faction at one point?
It was not the
No.
Mandalorian.
That's
With
Death
them.
Watch, not
You're
Mandalore.
not allowed to.
That's old
speak of
school
Star Wars anymore.
Mandalorians.
Yeah, he
That's
owned
not
all of
that.
them.
No.
Never mind.
Just stop. Death Watch is a whole separate thing. All right. Anything else Star Wars?
Why is it called Star Wars? What was the original title?
They lived the Star Wars.
What if Luke Skywalker had been the original name, which is what Luke Starkiller?
Yes.
Like, what if that had been that, like, Starkiller?
I don't think Star Wars would be as popular as it is.
Skywalker Starkiller.
Starkiller seems
It's a
too
pretty aggressive
dark
name.
and aggressive.
Well, they
it's
used
too
really
obvious.
aggressive.
They
name.
used Starkiller on episode 7, right? That's what the base was called? Starkiller.
They did call it
Base,
Starkiller
yeah.
Base. They also used it in the Force Unleashed games,
Yes, that's right. They've used it in a lot
which
of
are no
the
longer
expanded.
canon. So
Neither is Knights of the Old Republic, which really disappoints me.
For now,
I
yeah.
hope they
For
bring
anyway,
I hope they bring
there's a lot of stuff that isn't canon, but they pull from the stories
Right.
and use them. Which
right,
is
like
really
Jean-Luc Picard's no longer canon. So
Doctor Who,
Borg.
because he jumps
Borg.
in.
Yep.
Doctor
Borg
Who
aren't-
and the Borg all meet up with Han and Chewie at
the
one point.
Cylons.
Disney doesn't own Star Trek yet, right? But when they do buy it, could we
Imagine
see
the
a little crossover? Saved. Earthlings come into contact with Jabba the Hutt and stuff.
Well, I mean,
Isn't it true that Disney's going to buy DC and then just fix the DCEU by combining it with the MCU and just be calling it comic books?
DCMCU.
Comics. Yeah. Comic book.
All right.
next, fearless host?
I think we're done with Star Wars now. All right, little bit of Marvel, just a little bit of Marvel.
Marvel.
So Samuel L. Jackson,
Samuel.
really, bless his heart, shouldn't open his mouth sometimes.
Oh man,
Isn't
no.
he 70?
He should never stop.
That's crazy.
Oh wait, is he really?
He's in
He
his
is.
No, I
He's
love
in
Samuel L.
70s.
Jackson. I think this is hilarious, though, because apparently someone asked him if S.H.I.E.L.D. was returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
This is great.
And so the response was, well, I think, sure, why not? And then I'm like, I'm
Then the
pretty sure
internet
he
went
just
crazy.
Kind of, spoke out of his rear end and said, yeah, why not? It's cool. Like, that's what that man says. So, yeah,
Who asked him?
I don't know. I you
Like,
looked the
but
story up, but
It's funny because Samuel Jackson's known to like open his mouth and create like all of his regular speculation. I don't know if you guys remember when episode 7 came out.
No, when they first announced it.
Oh,
Well, and he talked about Finn, and he's like, "Well, if he can control the lightsaber, he's got to have the midichlorians, right? So he's a force wielder."
Yeah, and then the world went crazy and thought it was his son or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Or his grandson.
That's still a theory.
Yes, it is.
And
That's
that Snoke
ridiculous.
is Mace
It's a
Windu.
ridiculous theory.
It's a good YouTube video though. Check it out on YouTube.
Yeah, it is a good YouTube video theory. Video.
Anyway,
sorry, I was trying to find out who
S.H.I.E.L.D.,
asked him that, but no.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is a done deal.
Well, I mean,
No,
and
never
it's-
say never.
As
Wait,
as
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s done?
Shield, as Shield, it's done.
Well, in the movie universe, it's done. I think we should
Yes.
preface it because it's alive and well in the TV universe, but I don't think they're really going to ever
Well,
bring
no,
it
it's
back.
not really at this point alive and well in the TV universe, is it?
Well, no.
Oh,
it has
and
a
we
new
can't
direct.
really
Yeah.
say anything because we've been bad nerds and haven't watched any of this season. We were traveling.
I will say, though, the Ghost Rider transformation cinematic,
It was cool.
it's visually, it looks very, very cool.
So our mother actually described the first 10 minutes of the episode, running commentary as it was premiering live. For I don't know why she did that.
What was the best part?
The whole thing. I like when she was doing it. I was just thinking in my mind, this would be like the funniest YouTube video where you just have like a parent narrate like some iconic thing and like through their own words. So like,
But the key, though, like the trick is,
In a British accent.
you would have to, you would have to have, it would have been better if you had recorded it.
I know.
Got mom's permission, and then one
Done
of us
an animation.
animated
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
That would've been perfect.
It was just funny. Mom, so she's like, oh, they're showing. She's like, oh, they're showing the Marvel comic thing. Oh, they're showing scenes from the last season. She's like, oh, there are bad guys in a car. What's happening here? It's dark. And it's like, oh, there's another car that's coming out. Oh no, it's on fire. Oh, it flipped back over. It's a man in a skull. Like, I'm like, Mom, that's Ghost Rider. She's like, no. That's Ghost Rider. No.
It's the guy with the skull who's on fire. That's not Ghost Rider.
Oh no!
I'm like,
That's
Mom.
his cousin.
And then she's like, oh my. She's like, oh my, there's lots of blood. Oh my.
Oh my. Oh,
All of this
they
in a
just
British
kissed.
accent though.
Yeah.
So apparently to your question before about who asked Samuel L. Jackson, it was at a press junket. It looks like for a completely different movie.
Tarzan.
Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I can't speak. Peculiar
Wait, is he in
Children.
that movie?
I guess so.
He's in every movie.
But
Seriously.
someone then looks like comingsoon.net. I think they were the ones that actually asked him about S.H.I.E.L.D. and whether it will reemerge in the MCU proper, per their words. And he says, yeah, for sure, definitely. Why wouldn't there be? There's some way of fixing what they created, and hopefully somebody has that going on, or Nick Fury is out there, wherever he...
Wait, was that an underhanded burn at the same time?
It kind of was. Plus, it's like
Yes.
he's like, but come on, bring Nick Fury back.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a-
he was kind of upset that he wasn't in Civil War.
I would be too.
Why?
It's
What do you mean, why?
Samuel L. Jackson's a big nerd. He wants
Samuel L.
to
Jackson
be in things.
walks across the lots just to appear in other movies that he's not contracted for. In costume from the previous
Samuel.
movie that he's
wandering
been
around.
So allegedly he threatened to leave Star Wars because he wanted the purple lightsaber, and they said they weren't going to give it. And he said, "I'm going to leave if you don't do that." They were going to change the title to Snakes on a Plane, and he's like, "If you change the title, I'm out."
Yeah.
Like this is
This is-
Samuel L.
he-
Jackson. He's a legend.
Yeah, he knows what he wants and he gets it. So on that
Both-
note,
in both
S.H.I.E.L.D.
the
will
ca-
be back, and
both-
so will Samuel L. Jackson. That's it.
I just
It's
love that
coming back.
response. Yeah, for sure, definitely. Why wouldn't there be? Those are his words. It's brilliant. Thank you,
He's the
Sam
best.
Jackson.
He is the best.
So yeah, and then yeah.
Man,
So,
So
any other Marvel stuff?
No.
nothing worth
is
speaking of at the moment.
Marvel?
However, let's move into other news in the Nerdiverse. You like that? You like that?
Do we have a?
Nerdiverse?
Does someone want to
Nerdiverse.
like sing a song? It's like a.
Do, 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 do.
That's
football.
that's illegal.
Da
That's
da
illegal.
da da. Ba-da, 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 ba.
Ow, my ears.
All right, there we go. So yes, welcome to the Nerdiverse.
Actually,
Nope, that's even.
If you're watching on YouTube and you see or Facebook, you see our graphic. Nerdiverse is actually capitalized.
Yes, it is
It's a
because
proper noun. It's a proper universe.
Did we
it
just,
is.
Did
Yeah.
we just trademark something?
If everyone else can have a universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the DC
Extended universe.
Extended. Thank you.
Why is it called Extended Universe?
Because it's extended past their normal television universe. Yeah, I thought that's right. It wasn't entertainment universe. It was extended universe. I couldn't remember what the
Entertainment universe.
Eastern were.
I
I was
love
like,
that.
I don't get it.
Do you want Ben Affleck to DJ your house party?
there an
Call it DC.
Is there an alcohol verse?
Yes, there is actually.
No way.
Yeah, so no.
Yeah, it's called Adventure Time.
I was gonna make something
Speaking
up about
of,
That's drug verse.
speaking of,
This is
go ahead, Adventure
yeah.
Time.
So for all
Arjun
you,
is the only one who watches
all
it.
you,
It's
there are a lot of Adventure Time.
No, I mean
fans.
among the four of us.
Yeah. Your losses. But the Adventure Time is finally coming to an end in 2018. They are just wrapping up.
Oh no, so sad.
They're just wrapping up season 7. They just have the 2-part season finale to air at some point. And then they have 2 more seasons of about 25 episodes. But they
Wait, I
have
thought you said it was coming to an end.
Hey.
It's another 50 episodes.
in 2018. Okay,
Painful.
2018.
He's like, the show's
25
coming to an
episodes
end.
each?
In 100,
Yeah.
in
Oh
150
dear little
episodes.
baby Jesus in the manger.
Each episode's only 11 minutes, so
Oh, okay. That's
it's
true.
not.
I can't even
Still
sit through
too
that.
much.
It's not
Too long.
But it's
All right.
it's a cool show. And they have a very set ending. They've actually aged all the characters as the show has gone on.
It's so hard to do in a cartoon too. You know, age characters.
But a lot of cartoons don't age characters. Like
A lot of
Simpsons,
American
Family Guy.
cartoons do. It's a Japanese
anime is
does.
different though. You know,
Yeah.
so it's that also has a very set storytelling. But it's cool. I mean, it's a good show, and I look forward to that end and everything.
No, you don't. You don't want it to end.
I
You've
don't
got 2
want
years to
I
think
don't
about
want
it. I think
I don't
we're
want it to
fine.
end, but I have full faith in that staff. I know Pendleton Ward's no longer the showrunner, but Adam, what's his name? It begins with an M, I think.
That's a really long
Um,
last name.
M something. I think it begins with.
What's his name?
Yeah, it's also
But
I messed it up.
I have full
Clunky.
faith that they have a concrete idea, because I believe they're the ones that came up to Cartoon Network and said we want to end the show. We have a specific idea. So I've always appreciated shows like that have an ending in mind.
Pull the plug on themselves.
Arjuna,
All right, well-
Arjuna, I'm real quick. When your last statement there that you've always respected shows that know when to end, within reason.
Sure.
Do you think there's another show out there that maybe should have ended, I don't know, a season ago? There's a guy with a hood. It's green.
Oh, I thought you were going Walking Dead, but yeah, Batman as well.
There's actually a few.
That
but
show
that's
should have
the
ended 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Except they wanted. Actually,
Dexter?
interesting thing on Walking Dead.
no. We really no.
Season 4?
No, the president of AMC says he views The Walking Dead like the next. What did he say it was?
Lost?
Like, no, like a
Friends.
franchise that can. Oh, the next Star Trek, that it can just keep going
Oh,
on
no.
forever. Like they can keep making
Oh,
infinite
God,
amount of
that's so
shows in this
scary.
universe. He says The Walking Dead is AMC's Star Trek.
I couldn't even. We didn't even bother with the
Fail.
second season of Fear the Walking Dead, just because we're
Yeah.
so.
No,
off
I'm
of
not
the-
lying.
Is he?
I'm not lying.
Is he like? That's something. Okay.
I can
All right,
see it.
anyway.
Walking Dead, Deep Space Nine.
All right. So what else? We got?
I am
Mr.
Cisco.
Zombies.
Zoid's returning.
Yeah, Zoids.
I'm excited. I'm
Wow,
excited.
it's
for
been
that.
so long.
So there was between the original Zoids, there was a secondary Zoid show.
That was?
I don't think I
Yeah.
ever saw that.
Basically, so remember the original Zoids were, you would go as a pilot and you drive out to these areas and you battle each other, right? It was a battling, right?
Yeah.
The new Zoids,
It's a
or
tournament.
another Zoid series came out a little bit after that, where it was set, I think, more medieval or more medievally times, and there were giant robots, and it was more kind of Gundam-esque.
Sounds like Escaflowne.
I wanted them to bring
Kind
back
of.
Gundam.
I don't know if you remember that
There
one.
are tons of Gundams out
No,
there.
like a good one.
The last one was good.
No,
There's quite a few good Gundams.
yeah, but I've watched them all.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't watched them all.
I watched like 3 good ones and like 8 bad ones.
Which was the last one that you watched?
I don't remember.
The last one that I watched was the one that they did the movie where the Gundam or the Gundams that reappeared on Earth were part of a terrorist organization, or they were considered terrorists. I think it was Gundam 00.
007?
Maybe.
They're secret agents.
Actually, and I think the main character, his name was Ezra too.
What?
Not
That was
Hero?
weird. Not Hero. But yeah, Zora's Return. That'll be great.
That'd be cool. There's no announcement of a network or a time or anything.
I would
right?
assume Cartoon Network.
At
that
some
would be
point.
that would be.
Or it'd be cool if it was like a Netflix original, sort of like what's that show? Voltron.
Yeah, do it. Netflix
I
should
think it'd
do
be cool.
You know what would also be really cool that I really want to happen that I know will never happen? And Netflix, if you watch these things, get the rights to Dragon Ball Z.
It will never happen.
I know
It will
never
never
happen.
happen.
Because of Funimation.
Well, so
Or
so they haven't done the English dub yet for the first two. I think they're just finishing up the second season. But they're planning to do the dub a lot faster than they did it in the 90s.
Thank God.
Where it wasn't like 8 years later.
Yeah.
But which would be cool because they had the two movies that came out. One was really good. One was not great.
They were both entertaining.
Yeah, I like them both, actually.
Yeah,
I didn't like the Frieza one.
I mean,
Frieza
it
one
was
just like-
great.
Oh,
It was,
yeah, you're right. It was pretty bad.
It wasn't.
Stupid.
It wasn't great, but it was like it's Dragon Ball Z. I mean, it's
Felt
you're
more
gonna have a
Dragon
lot of-
Ball-esque to me.
It was more like Dragon Ball GT.
I'm glad that's not canon anymore.
All right, so along the lines of
Wait, are we boring you?
no, but along the lines of more things that you all watched that I did not. We have Power Rangers news.
Power Rangers, go Power Rangers, go.
The only part of this that I know about is it's Bill Hader, and I know who Bill Hader is, and the rest of it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Bill Hader is Alpha.
I imagine, I don't know what, as soon as I read that headline, I imagined some kind of like really poor production value SNL skit with him wearing like a giant saucer around his
See,
waist.
that's funny.
And that was going to be Alpha. And
Well,
I
that
got
would be
really
hilarious.
nervous.
I mean, let's be honest,
But let's
right?
look at the Power Rangers
Right,
shows.
and let's be honest. This movie is
Amazing.
going to be terrible.
What? Get out.
bad.
Get out.
They're so
Get
bad.
out.
Wait, what'd you say?
Get
This
out.
movie is going to be terrible.
Get out.
Right?
Somebody cut his mic off.
Your pessimism.
Get out.
It's a disease.
It's
out.
not pessimism. It's realism.
Get out.
Okay.
It's pessimism.
The
Get
con-
out.
I'm with
the
I'm with you.
concept art of
Get out.
5 Iron Man Power Rangers. You know.
If they have the song Iron Man playing.
Oh man.
Iron Man, go Power Rangers, go Power Rangers.
I want them to use the original song. They won't.
No,
But I want them to.
Power.
It'd be cool if they used it in like the ending credits.
Oh my god. Oh, that would be amazing. I would actually lose my mind if that. You go to see a Power
gonna
Rangers movie
lose
and they're
my
playing the
mind.
original.
Did you ever watch
original
the I think it was the 20th anniversary special, whatever they did, where there was like hundreds and hundreds, like all the Power Rangers came back and
Well, the ones that are still alive.
math and yeah.
Oh.
This massive
No,
battle.
it's true.
No,
There's
I
a
know.
lot
That's just the
lot
most
of
depressing.
them.
or not in
Committed
jail.
murder.
Or not in jail.
Committed
Yeah.
murder. Yeah, lots of different ways they've gone about their
I'm
lives.
hopeful. I'm hopeful that this movie will be good.
I am scared that it's just going to be another modern day blockbuster and not like the Power Rangers we remember. They're going to modernize. It's going to look like Transformers.
I
It's
will
gonna Michael
say the
Bay it.
Power Rangers you remember really sucks.
No, it's nostalgia.
Awful.
though.
It was
It's
great.
nostalgia
It's nostalgia.
for you.
Yeah, and that's
But-
all I want.
As I see it,
Yeah.
never having watched it, I cannot deal with it.
And
And
that's
I will
okay.
put up with a lot of crappy shows or whatever.
Yeah.
I
The-
cannot. The production value is awful,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I get
for
that
sure.
it's made for kids.
Yeah.
So
And
fine.
it's old Japanese footage cut with new footage filmed in LA. And
really
then,
because
that's
I
what
have
it
never
is.
made it far enough to watch that.
You know what's interesting?
you
when,
have.
when Krishna returned to
no.
the apartment yesterday, I started playing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme song.
Yeah, he did.
The extended version.
All right, so
Great guitar solo.
Why are you telling us this?
It's
so
an interesting nugget.
last little
It's an
tiny. Speaking
anecdote.
of nuggets, the last tiny nugget of information.
Chocolate?
I do like chocolate.
I thought it was like Hershey nuggets.
All right.
Yes.
So anyway, there's one last bit to bring it back to DC.
I never heard of it.
The DC Extended Universe, not Entertainment Universe. The DC Extended Universe. Apparently, Warner Brothers feels that it's too dark, which is kind of what I was like. Kind of one thing that I kind of liked about it. It was like
It's different
It was a
than
little
the
more-
MCU.
realistic. No, it's not really. Whatever. I know it's comic book characters. It's superheroes. It's not gonna be realistic, but it wasn't all like bright and happy and sunshine. But apparently, people don't like that. And they think that that's what's causing them to have poor box office showings on these movies. So they're going to try and lighten it up a little bit.
Where are they getting this information from?
I don't know.
Like,
Probably focus groups.
Christopher Nolan's Batmans were dark, and
Probably
those
fun.
were great.
Okay, so what they're
Focus
getting this
groups.
from is that they literally just read the headlines of the negative responses to Batman vs Superman, like too dark and self-serious, and then I mean, we've been talking about
Overreact.
this for months. I mean, from the Comic-Con Justice League trailer, where it's just all like jokes and quirks and almost MCU-esque.
Yeah,
right?
which is where they're going with it.
And that's exactly what they're going to do because
Fail.
and Christian and I were actually talking about this while we were walking over, but that's the DC Warner Brothers feels like they just have to catch up with Marvel, so they're just trying. That's why you have the Justice League movie so early in the inception of the universe. That's why you have 3 movies coming out in the same
they're
year.
trying to.
That's
try
why
to
they
lighten it up.
and that's why they're sucking.
The,
Yeah.
the CEO of Time Warner, Jeff Bukes, said there is a little room for improvement. Really?
No.
The DC Comics characters have a little more lightness in them than maybe what you saw in those movies. So we're thinking about that.
Right.
But you know, the other big difference between the MCU and the DC
EU.
EU is,
Entertainment universe.
is look at their ownership. And I think that's the bigger thing. So Disney does not just make movies, right? They don't make just TV shows. They make product. They make experiences. It's the whole package.
So does Warner Brothers.
They do
Warner
not-
Brothers to a degree, though.
But
And also when Marvel and Disney come out with these new superhero movies, it's a whole package. It's a whole
Oh, yeah.
thing to get you comfortable.
toy line,
the toy line,
TV
this,
show.
and
that,
everything's
so
tied in
forth.
together.
Exactly.
Everything. Even they don't have 2 separate universes either,
Right.
which is
DC has a lot. Like, it's an uphill battle. I will
They're-
agree with that 100%.
But I will say, and so the first 3 MCU movies were not Disney. It was
No, but
after.
the thing
it
is-
was after, and if you compare, right? So we're 3 movies in to the DCEU, right? Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Suicide Squad. 3 movies into the MCU. You had Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, and Iron Man 2.
we try
but
not
you're
to
also
think about
they're
Incredible
different.
Hulk.
You're
Any of
then
them.
and now you can't compare the first 3 then
No, I
and now
understand
because
that.
you're in terms of costs.
Right.
Costs alone are just mind-blowingly different. Those 3 movies they did not make nearly as much as the first 3 DCEU movies.
Right.
Can we just say DC? DCEU
just say
is
DC.
really
We'll just say DC.
difficult.
But also the thing
Cube.
to remember that is they may not have been Disney, but they were still Marvel, and Marvel
That
has
Marvel
still retained
Entertainment, yeah.
some of that. I feel like Disney has done this with Marvel. They did with Star Wars. It's
Sure.
like they seem to allow. They did with Pixar. Those individual entities that they bought still kind of.
Were able to creatively do what they wanted.
They're still their
Right.
own thing. They don't
course.
want to. They don't want to ruin the product. They bought that for a reason.
They wanted to.
So
still
they're not
make
gonna,
money. But I guess
screw that up.
I guess my point is like I don't think it's over for the DCEU either, right?
no,
Because
it's never.
and even like if especially with the way the MCU is going, they're going to take a lot of risks soon with Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Captain Marvel all coming out. Yeah,
What?
those movies aren't guaranteed to make to they're
They're,
new.
the characters who's by risk. I think you mean the characters
Yeah,
are less known
exactly.
to people, not
Right,
to us,
right.
but to
The
average
general
Joe.
population.
The they're not
just by
guaranteed to-
association,
Civilians.
the
No.
fact that there's Disney and Marvel,
No.
they.
That doesn't
I feel like
guarantee-
Disney and Marvel could put out a plate of poop
No, that's
and
not-
say this is a new
that's-
superhero,
Only if
and
they
it will
put a
make $1
cape
billion
on it.
dollars.
Literally
Only if they
not-
put a cape and a mask
That's
on it.
literally not true, though. Everything has a rise and a fall, and you're getting to the point where Marvel has seen so much profit, they're gonna start seeing decline and freaking out about it because every company freaks out.
With,
these things, they
with Doctor
decline.
Strange though,
It could be a bad movie.
Cumberbatch.
We don't
no,
know.
It's
We don't know.
Benedict,
But we
Benedict
don't know.
Cumberbatch.
But we've
If
seen
you
bad
can't-
movies make
can't
a
do
lot of
anything
money.
wrong.
True.
Doctor Strange will
Suicide
make a lot of
Squad.
money.
Well, that's true. I'm just saying though,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 years we're talking about the
Something different.
DCEU might be succeeding a little more than the MCU.
It's Benedict Cumberbatch.
No, I understand
It's
that.
going to be fun.
Wait,
But Benedict Cumberbatch has been in a lot
we're-
of bad movies
so
that haven't made money too.
That's true. That's true. But I would say Doctor Strange. I don't
They've
feel
done-
falls into that. Ooh, we might lose out. I could agree
think
to a
they've done
degree with Black Panther, maybe Captain Marvel, but even like those movies are not set to come out till
2018,
Yeah, it's-
2019.
right. So they're a little bit off, right? But I feel like by that time period, and remember, Disney is a whole entertainment entity.
They will have built them
They're
up
gonna
enough.
start blasting and they're gonna start blasting so kids and adults get familiar with them. They've already started with Doctor Strange. They
Sure.
introduced him into the
Yes.
Spider-Man TV show.
Spider-Man
for
Web
sure.
Warriors or whatever it's called.
No,
right
and
now.
Marvel
Yeah.
certainly has a leg up because they have the Disney umbrella and can they can distribute
Right.
everything. But you don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that Doctor Strange comes out, it's a piece of crap, and people don't like it because it's too different than the rest of the MCU.
No,
it's
because
not the Avengers.
Suicide Squad was different than Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
It
It's
got
not a
terrible.
well-known comic.
It got terrible previews. It did terrible in like the preview stuff. People solely went to go see that movie because
They heard
people
it was
said
so
it was
bad.
so bad.
Sure.
But
But,
that's
you
how people function. If somebody says, "Oh, you gotta go see this movie," not because it's good, because it's so terribly
Okay,
awful.
let's say Doctor Strange doesn't make $1 billion, which could happen, right? It's also coming out in a non-blockbuster month,
Right.
November.
It's my birthday. It's a blockbuster month.
But I mean, for
I'm kidding.
movies, though,
I'm
for
totally
especially superhero movies, it's. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying I believe this, but and people, it comes out and it's too confusing, right? It's too mind bending. It's too reality
Dimension bending.
dimension
Wibbly
bending,
wobbly.
right? It's too confusing for the $1 billion esque crowd of the Avengers. Oh, it's not it's not giant robots smashing each other to bits. It's not 6 superheroes taking
Wait,
on
is
an
it
army
October
of
or November?
November.
It's November.
It's November. When in November?
I don't know the exact date off the top of my head.
My birthday.
I think it's around there though,
It
right?
might be. It's
12th? I
probably
think it's the
it
12th.
comes out.
It's really close.
I feel like
Yeah,
it's the
they don't
12th.
put it. It's not right before Thanksgiving, is it?
I think
It's a
there's
couple
some.
of
I
weeks
think
out.
there's some time before just to give it some
Time to
breathing
see it.
I think
room.
it's
Yeah.
the 12th.
Because once you get to Thanksgiving, movies kind of like you're in the Christmas everything.
Families go to movies during the holidays.
True, but superhero movies have stayed away specifically from that Christmas time because I don't think they've performed that well.
I don't think that
November
there's.
4th.
I don't
That's
think
early
that,
now.
I feel like
Early.
especially with the way Star Wars. I know Star Wars is Star Wars, but I think they're getting away from feeling like that's a bad time to put
Sure.
movies out. Anyway, that all came from our conversation about the DC
DQ.
EU,
DQ.
the DC European Union.
Oh, European Union. That's
I like
what
that.
it stands for.
To which we will say, fine, make it lighthearted, but Warner Brothers, please come on and talk to us.
You know,
Yeah, don't
actually,
send us
Bring
creepy
it
mugs.
all the way back around.
when you originally said like, so Warner Brothers, I thought you were gonna say, so Warner Brothers finally responded to Ravi's angry rant,
No.
and has decided to come onto the show.
No, we
It's
are
just a
still
giant
inviting Warner
WB symbol.
Brothers.
They'll send like an intern.
We're still inviting
We'll take
Warner
it.
Brothers to send someone who can actually speak for them.
A
An
robot.
intern. At this point, let's be honest here. The way the DCU,
The DQ.
the DQ is running, and in terms of its
The DQ?
cohesion
DQ.
and
Jakku?
everything, it seems
Yeah,
like it is
Jakku.
an intern running it right now. It doesn't seem like anybody with
do
actual
you mean?
experience.
It makes a lot
Don't
of
worry,
money.
Ben
That's
Affleck-
what you want from a business, and it's doing great at that.
And it's in the media a lot.
Apparently, it's
All right,
Jeff Bukes.
fine.
Jeff
fine.
Bukes is the CEO. So,
/ Ben
Jeff,
Affleck.
give me a call.
all right. So,
I-
anybody else have any final thoughts? Anything else they want to bring up? Very small final thoughts.
I do actually.
course.
So Ben Affleck, along with Matt Damon and Tom Brady, recently
Yes.
released a video.
That was super
I don't want to really talk about the sports aspect. I want to talk about Ben Affleck still having the Botox.
yeah,
All right. So,
I
so
didn't
wait.
see that.
No, you. Oh no, it wasn't.
you didn't see the video?
No, he saw the video.
I
It
saw the
wasn't that
video.
bad.
I didn't see that on his
The
face.
video
He
itself, though,
he still was like
just
slurring
he's
his
still
words,
stiff in the
just
lips.
to say, and we can put the link
Oh,
to.
yeah.
It's on. I think it's on YouTube.
Facebook.
on YouTube and Facebook.
It's on, yeah,
Run
but
by
it's for
Omaze.
Omaze, which is for
Omaze.
charity. Basically, they want you to donate for a chance to spend time with the three of them. So Tom Brady, Ben Affleck,
They say
and,
like
and
get a
Matt Damon.
beer, watch
Have a
sports,
pizza,
have a pizza,
whatever.
maybe throw a football.
And it's omaze.com/Boston, I
So
think.
if
Yeah,
I
something
win
like
that, I'm going to change all of that. We're going to sit down and watch the extended cut of Batman versus Superman, and I'm going to pause it
Well,
and
it's-
ask a lot of
it's
questions.
you and a guest, so it'd probably both be you and Sarah. So
yeah.
you guys would do it.
Warner Brothers. If I win this, you can come with my guest, and
Oh,
then together we can all
I
sit
just
down
got bumped
and we
by
can
the entirety of Warner
we can
Brothers.
fix the
fi-
problem.
we can fix the problem.
They're gonna fix the
trust
problem.
We're gonna fix the problem.
I love it.
Well, but
Entertainment
technically,
entity.
aren't you meeting with Warner Brothers with Ben Affleck? We know he's going to be pulling strings within. I mean, he's already started.
Oh, he's already.
planted the
Warner Brothers is
seeds.
already there as Ben Affleck.
He's an
so I get
actor,
to go.
executive producer, which means diddly.
He's also going to be the director and screenwriter of Batman, which will probably end up being their most successful
Diddly.
film, and then they'll just hand over the reins to him.
They will not hand over. No.
So anyway,
He's Ben
anyway,
Affleck.
yes.
As if that explains everything. It does.
I'm just you can talk to Ben Affleck, and Tom Brady can hang out there, and Matt Damon and I are gonna go have pizza and beer. Is that cool?
And talk Jason Bourne.
And we'll totally talk about Jason Bourne. Oh, I will pick his brain about Jason Bourne.
No, you should talk about The Departed.
No,
Why
Jason
wasn't
Bourne.
Ben Affleck in The Departed?
The Departed.
Jason Bourne. We're going to talk about Jason Bourne. Lots of Bourne talk.
Microprocessors.
All right. So anyway,
I think that's it.
anybody else? Anything?
I watched
we've
Mean
missed?
Streets. Martin Scorsese's first feature-length film.
Okay.
It was all right.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
All right. So I think that's it. On that note, we'll extend our invitation to Warner Brothers to come on the show again. And I think that's it.
And mystery LuZo
Yes,
person,
please,
let
please
us know.
put it in comments, or at least, if you don't want to put it in comments, just if you
better,
know where,
better,
if
better.
you know Christian Arjuna, and it was just to you, right?
It was just
for
If
Arjuna.
you know Arjuna, just let him know, so that
Or
we
better,
don't
better,
worry
better.
about
They
a
send
stalker.
another-
Do it as a scavenger hunt.
Oh, you want them to send riddles?
Yeah.
Riddle me
Riddle
this.
me this.
So it's going to be a scavenger hunt all over the U.S.
What if,
Go to Colorado.
guys,
Go
what
to New
if,
Hampshire. Go
what
to
if
Florida.
this is Warner Brothers' way of communicating with us and telling us the Riddler is going to be in the Batman movie?
By sending
All
you a
right.
mug?
You heard it first. LuZoCast, episode number 19. The Riddler is going to be in the next Batman film.
Only if Jim Carrey is the
See
Riddler.
you next time.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe, like us on everything. LuZo Productions on Facebook, Twitter,
Vine, Instagram,
Periscope. Yes,
We're on Periscope?
we're on
We
Periscope.
do live streams for
All right.
Periscope
Thank
sometimes.
you for watching. Have a lovely day.
Or not.
Or, just hang out and, I don't know, bobble your head.